What if slowing down was one of the things that could help you hike farther? I know that sounds a little backwards, because most of us think that if we want to get better at hiking, we need to push harder, train harder, walk faster, or even tough it out a little longer. But if you've ever started out a hike feeling good, and then 20 minutes later your legs are starting to get sore, your breathing is off, and the trail just feels way harder than it should, it may not just be that you're out of shape. There's this simple idea from Japan called slow jogging that got me thinking about something I've seen on trail for years. A lot of hikers don't burn out because they can't hike. They burn out because they're hiking just a little too hard for a little too long. But what caught my attention was the idea behind it. Move easy enough so that you can keep going. It's really that simple. You're not sprinting. You're not forcing it, and you're definitely not trying to prove anything. You're just moving at a pace that your body can actually sustain. And as someone who backpacks a lot, that caught my attention. Because hiking has a lot of moments where we actually go above the pace that we can actually sustain, especially on climbs, especially if we have a pack, and especially when we're newer, trying to keep up or feeling like we need to prove we belong out here. And once you see this, a lot of your hiking problems actually start to look a little different. A lot of hikers start too fast because they feel good. And I get it. Being out on the trail is exciting. Your legs feel good. Or maybe you're just out hiking with somebody else and you don't want to feel like you're the slow one. So you push a little bit. You attack that first hill. You start taking bigger steps. And then you start breathing a little harder. But you tell yourself it's fine, that this is just part of hiking. Then that's when the pattern starts. You stop for a minute to catch your breath. Then you get started again. Then you start pushing again. Then you stop again. And now the hike becomes this little cycle of pushing, stopping, recovering, and pushing again. And you can do that for a while, but it'll end up costing you more than people realize. The problem's not always that you're weak. Sometimes the problem is that you're spending too much of the hike above your pace your body can actually support. And that's a different problem. Because if you think that the issue is weakness, then the answer feels like shame. I need to be tougher. I need to get in better shape. Maybe I'm holding everybody back. But if the issue's effort, then the answer is a skill. And that's good news. Because a skill can be learned. This is where the idea stops being about jogging and it starts being about effort. This is what a lot of us do without even realizing it. We lean into the hill. We take bigger steps. We try to keep the same pace even though the trail just got steeper. And for a little while, it feels like we're doing the right thing. It feels strong. It feels like we're working hard. But eventually, your body starts talking back. Your breathing starts changing. Your legs start to get sore, your steps get heavier, and if you ignore that long enough, your body starts making decisions for you, and then you have to stop. The trail version of slow jogging is this. Move at a pace where your body never has to panic. That doesn't mean that you never work hard. It doesn't mean that the climb suddenly becomes easy. It just means that you slow down before your breathing gets away from you. You shorten your steps before your legs start to burn. And you let the hill change your pace instead of trying to force the same pace up every climb. In my experience, this is one of those things that every experienced hiker eventually learns. They may not look fast, they may not look dramatic, but they keep moving. And over a long hike, that makes a big difference. So what's this look like when you're actually on trail with a pack? The first thing is to start easier than you think you need to. The first 10 to 15 minutes of a hike should almost feel too easy. And I know that can feel weird, because when you're fresh, you want to use that energy. But it's really easy to waste that early energy. So instead of using that first climb to prove something, use it to settle in. Give your body time to warm up, and let your breathing find a rhythm. Let the trail tell you what kind of day it's going to be. The second thing is to let the hill change your pace. I like to think of it like this. The hill gets a vote. If the trail gets steeper, your pace probably needs to change. I know that sounds obvious, but a lot of us actually don't do it. We end up keeping the same pace whether we're on a flat trail, a mild hill, or even steep climbs. And then we wonder why we're cooked halfway up the hill. A steep hill is not asking you to prove that you're tough. It's asking you to adjust. Third, shorten your step. I know big steps can feel powerful, and sometimes they are. But when you're on a climb, big steps can burn your legs a lot faster than you would expect. Shorter steps may not look that strong, but they keep you moving for longer. And fourth, check your breathing before it gets away from you. You don't need to get weird about it. You don't need to obsess about it. Just ask yourself a simple question. Could I say a short sentence right now? If the answer is no, then you may be above the effort you can sustain for a long time. That doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong every time you breathe hard. Some climbs are just hard. That's part of being in the mountains. But if the whole hike feels that way, then you may be spending too much time above your sustainable pace. And really and truthfully, the main idea behind all this is pretty simple. Slow down before you have to stop. Not after, but before. Because once your body is already in the red, you normally are going to need a bigger recovery. But if you adjust early, sometimes you can just keep moving. Maybe slower, maybe less impressive, but it's steadier. And steady has a way of adding up over time. And this is where the idea becomes bigger than just one climb. When you're newer, or you're trying to prove yourself, it's easy to treat every climb like a challenge, like the mountain is testing you, and you've got to show it that you can push through. I get that. I've done that plenty of times in the past. But the longer I hike, the more I realize that the better hikers are not always the faster ones. A lot of times they're just the ones that know how to keep moving. And that matters more as we get older. Because at some point, the goal is not just to finish one hike. The goal is to still want to come back out the next week, and even years from now. That doesn't mean that you never push. It doesn't mean that slow is always better. But I do think there's some wisdom in moving in a way that your body can keep supporting. Slower is not weaker. Sometimes, slower is how you keep hiking. So if you take one thing from this video, I'd make it this. The goal is not to hike as hard as you can. The goal is to move at a pace that your body can keep supporting, especially when you're on climbs. Try moving just slow enough that your breathing stays manageable, your steps stay controlled, and you don't have to keep stopping just to recover. That's why slower can sometimes mean longer. Not because slow is magic, but because sustainable effort helps you stay in the hike. You're not giving up, you're not failing. You're learning how to move through the mountains in a way that lets you keep going. And if you're newer to backpacking, that can make your first trip feel a lot less overwhelming. So the next time you're on a climb, try something simple. Start slower than you think you need to, and let the hill set the pace. Shorten your steps, pay attention to your breathing, and see how you feel later in the hike. Because the goal is not to prove that you belong out here. The goal is to learn how to enjoy being out here. And if you're new to backpacking, and you're trying to figure this stuff out without overthinking everything, I've created a free beginner backpacking starter kit that I'll make sure to link in the description below. It gives you a simple place to start. You don't always have to move harder. Sometimes the better trail skill is learning how to move in a way that lasts. As always, guys, I hope this was useful for you, and hopefully, I see you out on the trail.